All right, hi everyone, we're back. I had a weird thing happen in the last video, so we're gonna go over this again, and it'll be even faster. So, thank you for joining me. My name is William. I rebooted my computer. Let's get into the 20th Sunday after Pentecost, the Introit, Omnia, quae, Fecisti. Let's start chanting. All right, thanks. So before we begin, oh, subscribe bell. There's some freezing. Um, so we're going to go over this again. In the last video, if you were one of the 6 people, I saw 6 views, you knew that I started in a little lower and then I raised it as I was singing it. So we are starting this on F sharp, going up to B. Now, I had this complicated, really awesome description of the modes. I'm just kidding. I'm going to give it to you again, but it's about mode 3. If we look at mode 3 is the angry mode I've said in the past. Maybe you remember that. If you don't, it is. It goes up, and it stays up high, and then it comes down really low. I never quite understood that. It doesn't sound angry. I would write the music a little bit different. But I think it has something to do with the way medievals thought of chant. But before we sing any bit of this, I did want to show you that poem I'm talking about by Guido de Arezzo. So here it is. It is the 8 modes. Here it is. I'll skip reading the Latin. I'll just translate it for you. Everything is the first, but the second is apt for sadness. The third for anger. The fourth is said to be bland. The fifth is of joy. The sixth for proving piety. The seventh is for the youth or youthfulness. But the last is, or the eighth, is for wisdom. That's by Guido of Arezzo, and he's early medieval age. So what is he talking about? Well, I think when he is talking about this, subscribe, bell, he's talking about the medieval notion of anger, which is there's a difficult evil present, and behind that, or I guess from you, there's a difficult evil present, and behind it is a good that has to be achieved. Usually it's about justice, right? So something that balances are off, and then you have to be angry, and then you get it back, and then things are just. Things are the way they should be. And that kind of matches mode 6, or mode 3, excuse me. Mode 3 shoots up real high. Energy levels up high. Attack that difficult evil that's present. And then, as you overcome it, you sing the song, you're towards the end, what anger should do once you've achieved your good, you've removed the evil and you have the good, you're resting in the good, your anger comes down. Anger subsides. So I think that explains why Guido, said mode 3 was about anger. Yeah, we're back. Thanks, John, for joining in again. And we're back, and let's go over it. So I started it before on F to B flat. We're going to start it on F sharp, go a little higher this week. And we're going to go to B. So we're in B major. That makes our final D sharp, though. So I think it works out really well. And so our typical MO, we're going to start off and singing. If I come to something that I want to comment on or that's difficult, we'll stop, talk about it, and then we'll keep going. And then at the very end, I'll sing the whole thing without any pauses. Cross your fingers without any mistakes. So you have something to practice along with singing the whole thing together. All right, let's get into it. Omnia quae fecisti nobis Domine. Yours shoot up already, right? It's up at the top. It's anger. The difficult evils present. Maybe the song has something to do with that. We'll find out as we go. But in that second measure, the first measure that everyone will sing on, nobis, nobis, that's a fourth. It's a fourth. Omnia, it just reverses that motion. Nobis dom. It's such a short note, it's difficult to tune that. So just make sure you take your time on that. Tune it right. Moving on. In vero iudicio Fecisti. Oh, that ending. So that's a typical mode 3 ending. You're up high and it just kind of scoops down and lands on the bottom. You can hear that. The anger is subsiding. You achieved your goal and it comes down. Now notice on how that energy dies. That's going to be made up for in the next measure, in quae. So let's keep going. Ti quia pecca. I love that quillisma. So we have a quillisma here, a scared note. The scaredy cat notes, those are great for building up energy. The previous note kind of builds up energy and then you pass through the quillisma. Quia peccavimus tibi. You hear how the energy just builds up to the top again. This next phrase, et mandatis tuis, is really delicate. So it requires a lot of really kind of delicate singing to make sure you pass right through it. Saying it helps. I'm going to even say it first. Et mandatis tuis. Okay? Now listen to that. Et mandatis tuis. See how delicate that was? Et mandatis tuis. Super nice motion. You can tell that whoever wrote this was thinking of words rather than of music. I mean, they were obviously thinking music, but they were looking at the words when they wrote it out. Non obedivimus. That's a word. Obedivimus. Watch out for that one. If you're not familiar with Latin, that's a really good word to trip over. So you heard it here. Obedivimus. That accent. I love how all these chant books make sure the accents are there. That's kind of the pinnacle of the word. So you're kind of obedivimus, and then you come down it. So it's kind of like the peak of the word. And Latin only has one, so you don't have to worry about one. But always kind of watch for those accents to say your words properly, because that helps to sing them properly. All right, let's hear that. Et mandatis tuis non obedivimus. That's so sad. Non obedivimus. We do not obey. And your mandates we do not obey. That's sad. There's very kind of like regret, really thick in that word as you sing it. Non obedivimus. But, you can hear the but coming, said. And here is another quillisma in the next one. We're going to be building up our energy into da, or through da, and then gloriam builds it up again, and then it kind of catapults down into the ground, catapults back up. You can see the shape of the notes. It goes up, 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 catapult down, catapults up, and then we have a long ending. So, let's hear it. Said da. It catapults up. Da gloriam nomini. That's a tricky one. Gloriam nomini tuo. Et fac nobiscum secundum multitudinem. I love the reversal there in the ending. So typically it's nem, but here, the reversal switches those notes. Nem. Kind of pills you up. Oh, what's coming up? We're not done yet. Misericordi eto e. Oh, such a good ending there. I love that. We're going to sing that real slow to get all the intervals, especially in cordie, because you have that major second there. Come down, even another major second in the opposite direction. Can be tricky. So, mi, misericordii, et toe. That's the slow motion there. Maybe I'll make an icon next week. Slow motion, and then we'll be able to have more fun on the channel, right? Because chanting's very fun. So it is actually. So let's sing the verse, and then we'll sing the beginning again from the beginning, and then we'll call that an introit. Beati immaculati in via. Oh, those three strophics. So, right? There's 1, 2, 3. When you hold that, you let it float off. It's like a balloon that kind of just floats off screen. Beati immaculati in via, qui ambulant in lege Domini. There it is. All right. Let's sing it from the beginning. Then we'll have a nice full version you can practice along to, and hopefully there won't be any mistakes. I will try to obey the mandates of this chant. But if we don't, we're going to see our good friends whacking their heads of mea culpa. So, all right, Omnia, from the beginning. Well, a little sharp, but that's okay. Not too bad. I'm going to first have some tea. I'm overcoming a little cold. Not very hard, but yeah. Here we go. Omnia, quae fecisti nobis Domine, in vero iudicio fecisti, quia peccavimus tibi, et mandatis tuis non opetivimus, sed da gloriam nomini tuo, et fac nobiscum secundum multitudinem misericordii toe. Beati immaculati in via, qui ambulant in lege Domini. Ah, such a gorgeous chant. There is one spot on the secundum. I don't know, a frog jumped in my throat. But I hope my choir was watching, because that's exactly where I relaxed and I kept singing. And I didn't have to stop and go, right? So you do not need to stop when that happens. It takes a lot of control over your responses to that, because most people will kind of go like that when a frog leaps up to the throat. Relax through it, and it will subside. The notes I think were there, but that's why I didn't do a mea culpa, because that wasn't my fault. So anyway. Thank you so much for joining me. That was an introit, and what an introit it was. So fun singing it. It's amazing that I get to do these chants every week. Thank you for joining me. God bless you all. Keep you all in my prayers. And we'll see you in the next video. We'll go over some of the offertory, the communion, and the gradual Alleluia. And that'll be this week. Bye now.